Hard Day's Night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello. This is Paul speaking. Paul McCartney.
This is Ringo Starr.
George Harrison.
La, da, da, da.
Hey, Paul, tell them about the songs and all that.
You know, the title song is one that we particularly like. John and I wrote this especially for the film because, I mean, with a title like that, you couldn't write it for anything else, I don't think. That's not normally the way we work because John and I normally sit down and if we think of something, then we'll write a song round it, but we don't normally write to order like that. But the producer of the film, Walter Shenson, who's a great fella, all Americans, these good fellas, he is, anyway, came up to John and I, and he asked us if we'd do this song, especially for the opening and the closing credits, you know. So we just thought about it and thought, it seems a bit ridiculous writing a song called Hard Day's Night, because it sounded funny at the time. But after a bit, you know, we got the idea of saying that it had been a hard day's night and we've been working all the day, sort of thing. Get back to a girl and everything's fine, you know. And we sort of turned it into one of those songs.
Yeah, I think it's fab. And I also like it because I thought of the title. Makes it interesting, you see.
Well, we did have a lot of offers beforehand to make films, and they wanted us to just be the group in the back or just pass through a film and just sing a couple of songs, but we didn't want that because we've never enjoyed that sort of film. So we waited until we had a reasonable offer, and then Walter Shenson, the producer, came along, and with Dick Lester, the director, and we liked them immediately, and they had good ideas, and we all got together, and they said they want a film that we'll enjoy making and that we'll enjoy seeing in the end, and so we just waited until this offer came along, and we did that. The most important thing, I thought, was, besides us liking it, you know, so that the film would be a hit and other people would like it. Because, you know, everybody's ready to jump to say, you know, well, they may make good records, or so they've had hit records, but the film's crummy. Yeah. And so that was the biggest thing. We wanted everybody to enjoy it as well.
I think a lot of people expected it to be just one of the kinds of films you were talking about, the real slapdash kind of film, especially because it's our first film ever, you know, and they expected us to just go on and really be very wooden and sort of not be able to act.
It's good fun. I think the next one we do make will be more fun because we sort of got the hang of things, and like on this one when we first started, when we're not supposed to look at camera, you'd always sort of find yourself turning round and smiling at it. You just smile as soon as you saw the camera, you know.
On this one, I don't know whether this happens on lots of films, we used to keep breaking up, giggling. Yeah. We had some great giggling bits, you know. We'd sort of say a line, and I kept doing it a particular way. There was just this one thing where the grandfather goes off to a club, and I was supposed to say to Ringo, you know, it's all your fault and things, because in the film, actually, although it's not true in real life, we sort of pick on Ringo a bit, you know, because it was obvious, really, because he's sort of smaller and, you know, it looks funny in the film. But I'm supposed to be sort of picking on Ringo and saying, it's all your fault and things. And as I was saying it on the bit, I kept flapping my arms up and down. I don't know why, I must have thought I was a good actor. And I was just sort of flapping around and saying, it's all your fault, flapping my arms around. And he couldn't stand it, he was giggling away. So then I started laughing, and we just collapsed, and we took so many takes on that
12 takes on that bit.
Yeah, and I think they cut the bit in the end or something. Yeah. They cut some of it.
They cut half of it, yeah.
We had an exceptionally good director, Dick Lester, and, you know, he was a good fella, and he liked us, we liked him, and we all got on well, and he had a good sense of humour, so it made it much easier for us.
It's about 2 days and 2 nights of our life, really, where we leave Liverpool to come to London on a train, and it's all little things that happen on a train, you know, like we have an argument with a fella on the train and all different things that happen. Also, Paul's grandfather, Wilfred Bramwell, Wilfred Bramwell plays Paul's grandfather's on the train, and he gets us up into all tricks and he runs away.
It was nice sort of getting out on tour again, and the audiences were fantastic, some of them. I mean, some of the crowds that turned out to see us, it was really heartwarming to see them, you know, it was marvellous.
Well, I love it, you know, I love all the kids and all the teenagers and everyone all waiting. It's funny when you sort of look at them and they think, well, they're waving at us. But we have a good time. Everyone else worries about us if we're having a good time, but we never seem to worry, you know. Believe me, we're having a good time.
Yeah, that's right, actually. All the press are always saying, you know, you must get fed up, you know, going around everywhere is part of our job, and we've just got used to it and got to enjoy it. There's so many girls, but there's usually so many that you've got to dodge them all, otherwise you get battered.
So we end up
You
with
see,
none.
so you don't get any. You know, people seem to think that we have thousands of girls every night, but you know, it's wrong, because we've got to, you know, the police take us off somewhere and shove us in the hotel, and so we only get to see a few girls.
I tried to take 1,000 girls out the other night. It's too expensive,
I
though.
tried to take 1,000 police. Never get used to it.
Yeah, we'll never get used to it, because it's all never seems as though it's happening to us anyway. I mean, you know, we sort of pick up a newspaper and read about the Beatles, and I just read about them, you know, as though I'm not one of them, sort of thing. I just read, oh, the Beatles are doing good.
We never think of it as a phenomenon or any phenomenon. Had a few, you see. Yeah, we just keep going. To me, it's just like in the old days when we were playing for sort of a couple of dollars a night, you know, just because we get more money, we still play the same.
Yeah, well, we're still basically the same. It's just that we can afford things. But now, as we got the money, there's not as many things that we can think of that we want to buy. I could think of hundreds of things when I didn't have any money, but now, you know, I don't.
Well, thanks very much, you know, and this is Paul McCartney signing off.
And me, I enjoyed it. George Harrison.
And me, keep swinging, Ringo Starr.